Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the show. We're here today on a Sunday edition of the Cabral Concept, episode 2179. If you want to follow along with the questions, you can just go on over to stephencabral.com/podcast, and you'll see 2179 if you're listening same day, or go direct to the podcast, any podcast you'd like, by just putting the episode number at the end of stephencabral.com/, and then today would be 2179. So hopefully you did tune into yesterday's show. A lot of great questions. I know we went over ashwagandha for thyroid, whether it's good or bad. Crusty eyes. Why do you get crusties in your eyes? We talked about that. We talked about stage 5 adrenal fatigue. We talked about potentially low levels of progesterone, what to do about that. Complicated cases like Lyme, mold, candida overgrowth, Epstein-Barr virus. How do you actually work on those and in what order? And so much more. So hopefully you checked out episode 2178. Always excited to be able to answer your questions. And today I do plan on getting through as many as possible, typically around 6 questions per day. All right, let's dive in. First question today is from Diane. Diane says, "Hi. I have what I call an occasional froggy throat. No amount of attempting to clear my throat nor coughing helps. I live alone and I don't realize I don't have much of a voice until I get on the phone or I go shopping, which doesn't help in determining if it is strictly morning or night. Thanks for any suggestions you have, Diane." Okay, this is more common than you would think, this froggy throat. You feel like it sounds like you have something in your throat when you're talking, right? Always an odd thing. It happens to a lot of people when they are eating or just ate or drank something cold. And that is because sometimes more mucus is produced. So this is not the only reason. Again, I'm just giving you one reason, and I typically give you the most common reason so that we can use Occam's razor, which means, okay, 80% of the time in my practice, this is typically what I see it attributed to. 20% of the time, it could be another dozen things, okay? So what I'm going to do is, hey, maybe it's attributed to mucus in the back of the throat, or mucus buildup in the throat, coating the entire back of the throat, trachea, etc. Okay, so what could it be? Well, it could be food sensitivities. You're eating foods that you are sensitive to that's creating inflammation. It could be overall systemic inflammation for many reasons. Heavy metals, gut imbalances, overall stress, not enough sleep. It could be many, many different reasons. So, there's 2 schools of thought to look at this. One is, okay, what we're going to do is just have you talk out loud to yourself at multiple points during the day to say, is it worse after eating? Is it fine waking up? Is it better at night? Because we don't even know what point of the day that it's the worst, right? It's more like when you get on the phone or shopping. Well, maybe that's midday. Did you just eat lunch? Did you just eat breakfast? Did you have something cold? Is it worse in the winter and the colder months? Or is it worse in the summer and hotter months? So we really have nothing to go off of. So we have no variables to play with. But if it seems to be you have other health issues plus this, the best place to start is with the Big 5. So you run the Big 5 labs, you look at your omega-3s for inflammation, you look at your food sensitivities, you look at your hormones, which shows stress levels, and you look at your gut and so much more. So you can find that at stephencabral.com/big5, and that's the number 5, or just go to stephencabral.com/labs. All right, Allie's up next. Allie says, "Hello. Thank you so much for answering my question. I've struggled with gaining weight my whole life. During pregnancy, I'm able to pack on a good 40 pounds, but then I lose it all quickly and then some. Currently weighing in at 94 pounds and I'm 5'8". Do you have any ideas as to what I might try in order to gain more weight while keeping a healthy diet? Also, I'd love to try the 7 or 14-day detox, but I'm concerned with losing more weight. Do you have any suggestions? I'm doing the detox for someone with my concern. Thank you so much for taking your time to help." Yeah, Allie, I'm happy to help with this. And, we work with weight gain, not as much as weight loss, because more people want to and need to lose weight than need to gain weight. But certainly there's a weight gain segment of the population. And I've talked about this on previous shows, and you're welcome to search those too at stephencabral.com/podcast. But it's interesting because you're able to put on weight during pregnancy, and people who aren't able to put on weight sometimes don't put on a lot of weight during pregnancy either, but you put on 40 pounds. And so we know that you're able to put on some weight. So it's interesting because you may have low hormones. And if you're a Vata body type, this could be the reason. So I would love for you to run these stress hormones, moon, and metabolism. Because if you have low hormones, well, we can help you boost that. And it will help you put on weight much more naturally. And we do it in a natural way, right? So we'd use estrogen support. We would then use progesterone support. And we might use a product called DHEA. And the DHEA, I'm assuming you're young, we would only use that for about 12 weeks or so. And then we taper off from 5 milligrams twice a day to 5 milligrams just once in the morning. And then after another month, we'd probably come off and we might stay on the estrogen support, the progesterone support, we'll see. And then of course, you can eat all the food you're eating now, but in a greater quantity, right? And I know that's kind of easier said than done, but I'm holding a smoothie right here. It's easy to pack calories into a smoothie if you want. It's also easy to make a low-calorie smoothie, but you can put in more good calories into a smoothie. You get protein in there, no problem. It's easy to digest, which means you can typically consume more. And then good, healthy fat is one of the easiest ways to add more calories too. Avocados, olive oil, those are two easy ones, very healthy. Last question, can you do a 7-day detox? Absolutely. You'll just either do, on the fasting days, you'll do 4 smoothies, or you'll just move through to day 3 through 7 of the meal plan. And yeah, you might lose a pound or 2 for the week, but you'll easily gain it back and you'll be healthier, most likely, because of it. All right. Thanks, Allie. Anonymous is up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I have a question regarding stretch marks and hyperpigmentation. What are your thoughts on getting rid of stretch marks and getting rid of hyperpigmentation from neck and knees? Will microneedling, derma rolling help get rid of hyperpigmentation and stretch marks, or is laser the only option for good results? Thanks. Okay, great question. So there's a couple ways to look at this. When I was doing a lot of bodybuilding in my college years, I got stretch marks all from my bicep through under my chest. They're not easy to see unless I lift my arm over my head, and they're much lighter now. Here's why they're already lighter. On their own, they went lighter. Is because I no longer have the same muscle mass that I did when I was in my early 20s. And so that skin is no longer stretched to that same degree, and I'm no longer causing any damage to the skin because I'm not stretching it anymore because I weigh 30 pounds less than I used to, right? Muscle mass wise. So that's part of it, is just once you've not stretching the skin anymore, the redness or even purple will start to get lighter and lighter. And then you'll have that actual kind of wrinkling of the skin where the stretch mark is, but the color won't be there, okay? So there's a couple things you can do. With overall stretch marks and all of that, proteolytic enzymes are always great. That's the product we use is Florafilm. You can use 4 upon waking or 2 upon waking, 2 before bed. Topically, I like castor oil for stretch marks. I think it's excellent. The microderma rolling or microneedling can be helpful. And then also for the hyperpigmentation, which is more of the darkening of the skin, you can also use what I called before a natural chemical peel. So instead of mixing water with green clay or bentonite clay, you would mix apple cider vinegar with some green clay. Now, typically that's to draw out toxins, but it can also help to kind of turn over that skin layer. And so you'll always want to do it just as a small quarter-size patch or nickel-size patch to say, okay, does it make that skin really red and irritated? And if so, you might have to do less time, or you're just not able to put apple cider vinegar on the skin. So that's something to look at. I do have a whole podcast on a skin mask, so you can find that at stevencabral.com/podcast. If you ever can't find a podcast, we're happy to help. Literally, just write in our support group at cabralsupportgroup.com. It's a free Facebook group. Just ask, and our health coaches will be able to find it for you. So I think that's probably some good recommendations. A lot of people use liquid vitamin E on stretch marks. Seems to help. It's a good antioxidant. And then also finding why you have the hyperpigmentation in the first place. It could be something called melasma, MELASMA. And you can check out my podcast on melasma, or it could be from Addison's disease, okay? High levels of cortisol and then very low levels of cortisol. And you can check out my podcast on that too, okay? Erin's up next. Hello, I love these podcasts. They are so helpful. I've been wondering, is there a root cause to asthma? Thank you. Thank you, Erin. Appreciate the kind words. And I think you're probably a new listener to the show. I want you to know that you can go to stevencabral.com/podcast. And in that nice little search box there, we can type in, which we're going to right now, asthma. And you're going to get my shows on asthma. Asthma. Okay, we'll type it right in there. 2151, 2150, 2101, 1954, 1918, 1855, 1828, 1808, 1779, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Lots of shows on asthma. All right. So what I would do is, let's just check out the first one. Let's see. If I click on 2150 and I look at that person's question, what is the root cause of asthma? I've been told magnesium deficiency, but would love to hear your input. Thanks so much. When did this show come out? December 25th. I have a sneaky feeling that you are the same Aaron, and you wrote in on 12/12, and you wrote in about a month before that on December 25th asking the same question. I think I'm on to you, Aaron. And I'm obviously just joking around. Everyone, when you're reading, when you're on that Ask Cabral page, it takes 6 weeks to get your question answered. I'd love to be able to personally answer them. And I do answer DMs and all that all day long, but it's about a 6-week lead time. All right. 6-week lead time. If you ever need help finding a podcast, CabralSupportGroup.com. All right. Thanks, Aaron. Susan's up next. Hi, I'm 50 years old, female, who takes generally good care of myself. My right eye has been twitching several times a day for at least the last 7 weeks. I don't have any other symptoms, and a recent eye exam prior to the twitching was healthy. I take magnesium and other anti-inflammatory supplements. I struggle with monthly hormone imbalances and often have neck tightness, particularly the muscle between the shoulders and the neck. I also tend to clench my teeth at night, but not significantly enough to cause jaw pain or tooth issues. Could I have somehow injured this or stressed the muscles of my face? I do use blue light blocking glasses and have cut down on screen time, but the twitch remains. I do yoga and exercise moderately most days and get enough sleep and do not have high levels of stress. So what gives with this twitch? Okay, let's figure this out. First thing we want to do is, we don't know what's causing it, but it started 7 weeks ago. So this is how we figure things out in practice. We ask ourselves, what changed over the last 2 months? Whatever new supplements you started, even though they probably and may be amazing, stop them. Whatever new foods you added in over the last 7 to 8 weeks, don't eat them anymore. If you started to go to bed at a different bedtime, go back to your normal bedtime. If you started wearing blue block glasses 8 weeks ago, don't wear them anymore. And all of these may seem like crazy suggestions because they're all these great things, and I agree. But we don't know what caused the twitching, and it started 8 weeks ago. So we can figure it out, though. That's the thing. So let's say after doing all that for a week, it's gone. Oh, okay. Well, it was either the food, the blue blockers, the supplements, the sleep, the whatever it is, right? So we can say, well, we're just going to add in one supplement, and we're going to say, does that cause it over the next week? No? Okay. Let's add in the next, right? And so that's how we do it. That's how you'll be able to figure it out. Typically, eye twitching can be low magnesium, 100%. But it could also be low calcium. So what if your body needs a CalMag product called CalMag Complete instead of just magnesium? Maybe that's it. Maybe the anti-inflammatories you're taking are an herb that you're sensitive to. Again, I have no idea, right? But this is how we figure this out. So this just takes patience, and you're able to figure it out. I would also disagree with you, now respectfully disagree with you, that you are not stressed. You don't know the root cause of your stress, but you're clenching your teeth at night and you have tension between your neck and your shoulder blades. I would certainly say there's some stress there. I don't know if it's inflammation. I don't know if it's gut issues. I don't know if it's work, life. I don't know if it's postural, biomechanical. I don't know, but there's stress. There's no doubt about it. So again, I would like to first eliminate the supplements, and then you might need a product like Adrenal Soothe. 1 at lunch, 2 at night. You might need a liquid melatonin for 4 to 8 weeks at night and then tapering off. You might need a sleep help support. So I wish I could tell you exactly what to do. There's always an answer. I've had eye twitches myself in the past. Oftentimes it would be from stress and lack of sleep for a couple days. Okay, so that's one factor, getting your sleep or electrolyte imbalance. Let's say I got dehydrated. Okay, I need more electrolytes. So it could be any of those, Susan. But, again, you'll be able to figure it out. There's just no doubt about it. And right back in if you don't. Or let's look at your vitamin and mineral levels. Let's not even guess. Run the starter kit. And that's at StephenCabral.com/starter-kit. All right. Let's see how we're doing on time. We're doing great. One more question from Noel, our 6th question of the day. 3 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I wasn't able to walk. I wasn't able to put any pressure on my ankles. I saw multiple doctors and x-rays showed nothing. I don't remember injuring myself. Twitches even put my ankle in excruciating pain. I wore a boot for 3 months, and after 3 months, could barely walk. 3 years later, the pain is gone, but comes and goes every 3 months, but the swelling is still there, and it looks like I have a kinkle. Since then, every 3 to 6 months, the swelling and joint pain to other joints. 3 months later, went to my wrist and elbow and upper spine. These joints flare up. The worst is my wrist. Interesting. I've been tested for rheumatoid arthritis, Lyme, but both are negative. I've done detoxes and diet changes, and I've noticed no difference. I've seen a functional doctor, allergist, and still no answers. Want to see if you've heard anything like this or have suggestions. I do. I have, and this is always one of those mystery illnesses, right? I had mystery illnesses. Many people have mystery illnesses. We don't know why. Well, again, process of elimination. I would absolutely test for rheumatoid arthritis as well, and you did. Okay, interesting, good. Not everyone has high RA factor, but they have rheumatoid arthritis symptoms. Just letting you know that, right? Lyme is negative. Okay, good. Could be mold, right? Could be definitely mold toxicity. I would love you to listen to my podcast on stealth pathogens because most likely it's a stealth pathogen. I just want you to just know that, okay? 2 things pop into my head. Again, I'm not here to provide any medical diagnosis, no medical treatment plans, and what's the other one I'm supposed to say? No medical cures. Okay, so 2 things, stealth pathogen, mold, viral, Candida, SIBO, H. pylori, parasite. So some type of stealth pathogen, viral-based, again, autoimmune stemming from the gut. Still can be, for sure. And it's moving throughout your body. So that's what it leads me to believe. It leads me to believe that this is an inflammatory autoimmune process. And 100%, I would love you to run the Big 5 plus the bacteria and parasite stool test. If you could do that, you'd find amazing data on your body. Let's say you can't afford that though. Understood. Totally get it. What can we do first? All right, here's my order. Bacteria and parasite stool test, because it's going to test for everything. Parasites, H. pylori, and bacteria. And it does an okay job at Candida. After that, the Candida metabolic and vitamins test. The third one, minerals and metals test, because I want to look at heavy metals. The fourth one, stress hormones, mood and metabolism. The fifth one, food sensitivity test. The sixth one, omega-3 inflammation test. That's what I would do in that order. So if you can't run them all, run the ones that you can in that order. That's what I would do. Okay, that's what I believe you'll find. I do. I believe that. The second one is this. The other possibility that's in my mind, again, no diagnosis here. It could be, I don't believe it's this, but it could be a crystallization of those joints. So you are someone that is sensitive to purines, lectins, more of like a gout-based issue, and it's affecting the joints where these crystals begin to build up. Sometimes they're calcium-based and sometimes they're other. And so that's a possibility that you would have to do a lot more digging on, but I would go with the first one that we spoke about first. It's easier to look at, all right? All right, thank you, everyone. Great questions today. I love people trying to stump me. It makes my brain have to work harder, and I like that it has to work harder and kind of draw upon different experiences. So, of course, if this was helpful, please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve, and I'll be back tomorrow on our Motivation and Mindset Monday. Take care.